Welcome back to the channel. If you saw my last video, I mentioned that it was kind of a slow winter and I didn't really do a lot of content creation. I just kind of got in a little groove where I was not producing a lot. So I'm trying to get out of that funk right now, and I'm gonna do something that I've wanted to do for a while. I'm gonna do a bike check on my three main bikes, starting off with my Intense 951. And then next week or the following, I'm gonna do my State All-Road gravel bike and then my YT jeffsy. So all of these bikes have been showcased on this channel in one way or another, but I've never actually gone through and broken down all of the bikes, do a proper bike check, explain what I changed, why I changed it. To be honest, most of it didn't need to be changed. You don't need to fix what isn't broken, but it's fun. If you're a mountain biker, you know that you just want to change stuff, customize it, kind of make it your own. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go through and show you guys my bikes. But before I get into my Intense, please subscribe to our channel. It helps us out a ton, and my wife will let me buy more bikes if we get some more subscribers. So let's get into this bike, my Intense 951 XC. So by now you guys have probably seen this bike. This is the Intense 951 XC. It's from their budget series. You can buy this bike at Costco right now. It's a pretty decent build. It's got a full carbon frame, and I really, really love this bike. So I'm gonna start front to back and go through everything for you guys. So up front at the cockpit, I have the Race Face Next R carbon handlebars. I have them cut down to 760. And then I have the stock brakes on here. These are the TRP Slate T4, and I really like them. I prefer them over to the SRAM brakes that come stock on a lot of bikes these days. And then for the stem, I have a 50mm Reach Turbine R Race Face stem. I do have some tie bolts in there. And then you can see I got the wolf tooth cap. It's purple. It doesn't really match the bike, so I'll probably swap that out soon. I have the stock Intense lock-on grips. You can see under here, I have the SRAM GX Axis shifter paddle. The fork is the Fox 36 Rhythm. It's basically their kind of budget air fork. I do look forward to swapping this over to SR Sun Tour in the near future, but for now this stuff's okay. I could use a few volume spacers in there, but like I said, I'm probably gonna switch over to SR Sun Tour pretty quick. So I'm running the same tires front and rear. It's the stock Kenda Regolith Pros. They're 2.2 wide, and when I first got this bike, I wasn't super sure. They were definitely very light and extremely fast, but I didn't feel like I had a lot of grip on the front tire. But I'm starting to get used to it, and I really like these tires now, so I'm gonna keep them around for a while. I did just snag these Hunt Trail Ride wheels from my buddy Chris at the Tosa Bike Garage. They are so highly rated and they're on sale, so I figured now is the time to splurge and get those. The rear shock is the Fox Float DPS. I don't really have too much to say about it. It works just fine. I've had no issues. The bike came with a Physic alpaca saddle, and I'm really impressed with it. I expected to change it out right away, but I really dig it. It's kind of firm, but it's got a nice shape to it, and my body agrees with it. I'm also still running the stock Intense dropper post and lever. I believe it's 150mm. It's a decent post. It's not too slow, it's not too fast. It's kind of just a normal dropper post. The NX crank might be the next thing that I swap out on this bike, just because carbon cranks are getting cheaper and cheaper, and I think they're kind of cool. But the drivetrain has seen a lot of updates recently. Like I mentioned earlier, I got the SRAM GX Axis shifter kit, and then I recently got the Hunt wheels so I could get a better cassette on here. The stock wheels that come on this bike have a old style Shimano HG driver. So that means the smallest cog that I could get over here is an 11. And that was kind of irritating for me because my jeffsy has a 9. So I wasn't hitting kind of the top speeds that I was liking. So with the Hunt sale, I was able to get the new Shimano microspline, and I'm running an SLX cassette, and that's a 10 to 51 wide range cassette. I'm sure a few of you are wondering and will comment on how does it perform with a Shimano cassette with the SRAM derailleur, and so far so good. I've really only done some pretty light tests, but tuning the system was very easy. It seems to shift really well. I will report back after I have some more hard miles on the bike. I've been running the same pedals for probably 5 years. These are just cheap Amazon plastic platform pedals. I think the company is called Bike In. I've been super impressed with how durable these pedals have been. That's why I keep buying them. The traction is great, they're light, they're cheap. So I'm gonna keep using them until I have some problems. I'll include a link in the description if you guys wanna check these out for yourselves. Like I mentioned before, these are the Slate T4 brakes. It's a 4 caliper piston and they're made by TRP. And then I have a cheap 180 millimeter floating rotor also off of Amazon with some tie bolts on there. Up front I have a 180 millimeter alligator rotor. I've ran these rotors for quite a few years and I'm really impressed with how durable they've been, especially considering how far they're machined down. It's actually funny, I get a lot of attention on the trails. People are always coming up to me and asking me about them. So if you want to know more, I'll include a link below. If you're wondering how much this bike weighs, it's just under 28.5, and it is such a blast to ride. This bike has easily become my favorite bike I own right now, and it's so good for Midwest trails. If you want to see some more videos of this bike, I have plenty on the channel. We have one of a direct comparison, this versus the YT Izzo, and there's plenty of shredding. Like this, I've sent this thing way harder than it's probably designed to do. So check those videos out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.